chill, cool off out here.
Since our last video here at Haven on the Hill, things have been moving forward. Families displaced by Hurricane Helene are rebuilding their lives in this pasture that's been transformed into a refugee camp. Thanks to the incredible generosity from all of you, our viewers, real progress has been made. You've sent donations, supplies, and even a vehicle, and it's really appreciated. Your support has made a real difference, and we can't thank you enough. Today, we're bringing even more help from you. But there's something new here today. FEMA. Yes, you heard that right. FEMA. 4 months after the flood, today FEMA has finally showed up here to Haven on the Hill for the first time. Well, I'm no James O'Keefe, but let me see if I can catch up with her. Answer some questions.
We're not usually allowed to, but it depends on the scope of the question.
I just wanted to ask, are you going to be able to help these people?
We're attempting to.
What do you have planned to help them?
We as the DSA team on the ground, we don't know the bigger picture plans. We just know that these people need help with housing and getting to the next stage of recovery.
Okay, so you're here to help people get housing.
Help them get to their next stage of recovery, whatever that looks like for them. Thank you.
I'll have more from FEMA later in the video, but first, let's check in with some of the residents and volunteers to hear their updates and see how things have been progressing.
Everything so far it's gone more than according to plan. We've been blessed with a new vehicle and that's fine, I'll get it.
Awesome.
And among other things, right now we're just trying to find something permanent and, working on getting full-time employment and just working on moving forward now is a lot easier with a place to hang my hat and
a vehicle.
And I try to help everybody I can in the process, so I like being here. But the goal is to move forward soon, so I'm hoping that within the next couple of months we'll be able to either get approved for housing or afford it on our own, depending, because just being able to save a little bit of my money and stuff and work it out, and that's the goal. But we're doing 100% better now, man. And I think a guy that seen your video is the one that donated the truck. He's a preacher from Burnsville or Burlington, I believe, one of the two. Wonderful man. He came by, we talked about God for a little while, and he gave me a truck. Well, he gave me the truck, and then he talked to me about God for a little while. But I appreciate that. That helped me.
My name's Kent Keller. I live in Charleston, South Carolina, and I am up here volunteering, building steps for the campers. Most of them are so far out of level, and which makes a really high step. Once they get the camper leveled up, it makes a really high step, so the steps that are on there aren't quite enough. So I'm building steps that would make it then up to code, you might say. Now, my wife and I started a GoFundMe. It's called Help Kent Provide Shelter for Western North Carolina. We started it about 5 weeks ago, and our purpose is to raise money to buy campers, or to I'm a carpenter, so I come up and work on the campers. I can build the steps, I can do other things that's needed to be done to make the campers safe and right. So we started that about 5-6 weeks ago, and so far we've gotten $20,000. That's kind of amazing to me. Yeah, so we're very grateful to be able to help out. We people of faith, we trust in the Lord, and we feel like it's our responsibility to help out as much as we can. So that's what we've done.
This is Marilyn, who we met in the last video. She's been holding strong through it all, and today she received some thoughtful gifts. It's these small moments that remind her there's still care and kindness around, even when the road's been tough.
Thanks for all the organizations and donors that has given I've had people all the way from Wisconsin and all that's come in and is helping, volunteering, and donating. Thanks to everyone. Yes, they do with the coffee pot supplied in with the camper when they set you up in dishes,
Yeah.
even dishes. But one thing we don't really get much donated is the coffee grounds,
Coffee.
sugar, and creamer,
Okay.
which I think about 2/3 of everybody that lives out here is a coffee drinker.
I bet. Yeah, yeah. Well, you need it to stay warm, don't you?
I saw something on Facebook the other night that says that they have proven that drinking coffee helps extend your life. In that case, I should be immortal.
That's
Because
right.
even as of today, I've already sucked down 4 cups of coffee.
Oh, man.
When I used to be on a truck, go into a truck stop, I would tell them to brew a pot of coffee and set it at the table for me.
How many of these jugs you gonna fill up for the generators, Mike?
About 50.
About 50?
Yeah.
That's
One a day. They get 1 tank a day. They only runs their generator about 8 hours. And there's no more than 8 hours in a day. It's nice today, but in the wintertime, we only get 1 tank of gas. We spend the rest of the 16 hours cold. We got some other heaters, but we need gas. We need gas.
So how big is that drum right there?
500 gallons.
5,000?
We go through 500 gallons about every 2 days.
About every 2 days. It's been incredible to see how this community continues to push forward despite everything they've lost. Life is moving forward here, even with all the challenges. People are making steady progress and finding ways to keep going.
It's horrible. It's war zone without bullets. I've worked several disasters, and I've never seen what I've seen here. I've never seen the horrific suffering that I've seen here with these families, and they're getting zero help other than having a place to stay. And then, we get crumbs here. And that ain't right.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the people.
No, I never left.
100% better. Hopefully, I mean, looking at my life 2 months ago and now, it's a lot better. And the people around here seem to care about one another, you know, and I don't know. I've had a really good time. I've spent a lot of these last couple of years by myself. So it's good to be around people again and, not feel out of place. But we are ready to get somewhere permanent. These past time, it's moving around a lot. It's stressful on everyone. So, and the only complaint that we have up here is we gotta go pay for showers. So we're hoping that to get these right here fixed up for us so we can have showers up here. But the rec center right now, $4 to take a shower, and the truck stop is $17. So you go broke trying to take showers if you don't got family. Man, I just say we're blessed, and everything I believe is going according to God's plan. And like I say, we wake up every day and try to figure out what we can do to help anybody. I try to get up in the morning and make breakfast for all the people that live up here at top. So I get up as early as I can. You know, I got a newborn, so I'm not super early to rise, but sorry.
No, you don't have to be sorry.
But and this is my poo-paw. This is Mike. And he has been such a tremendous help to me since we've been here. I mean, seriously. I mean, if nobody else could help me, I could ask Mike and he would right then and there, anything I needed, man. So I appreciate Mike. I appreciate James for allowing us to get in here and help us out. And I just appreciate the whole situation. And thank you, Peggy. I say that again, because I just, anything you give to me, it trickles down to my youngins, so.
Things here at the camp are slowly changing. And while the road ahead is still uncertain, there's a quiet sense of progress. People are learning to adjust, helping one another, and moving forward as best they can.
My name's JB. I'm staying here at Haven on the Hill. Lost just about everything I have, and I am working my butt off here, trying to give myself a little purpose and make life a little better for me and everybody else that is here. I lost my truck. I mean, it's just everything. I'm trying to get back on my feet without a vehicle. It's very hard to do in an urban environment. So I'm praying that somehow, some way, I'll be able to figure out a way of money to get a vehicle. So right now, that's what I've been praying for.
So your truck washed away and
Gone.
Gone.
Can't even find it.
And no insurance.
I had liability insurance, so they didn't cover it. They didn't cover everything that it hit going that way, but it wouldn't have covered the truck. FEMA, I'm a veteran, and I filled out the FEMA applications because my ID doesn't match the address where I was staying at. They said I didn't qualify. So I'm here because of James Lunsford. He got me here. So thank God. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God for James Lunsford.
Everybody that's been helping out and sending donations and
Yeah, thank y'all.
praying for it. Like, we've been getting a lot of good stuff here that we need. It's really nice actually to stop for a minute and go through this, just to be able to see
It's humbling.
that there is people out there that really care, and especially people that don't even know us, don't even live around us, got a fire going on. Like, people that's got a fire going on over in California are sending us stuff. Like, that's what's really awesome. And everybody that's helping out, you know, I bounced from Asheville since Hurricane. Now, the Red Cross Shelter sent me to Bryce City. Now me and my dog Archer's here. And I'm kind of glad I got this reset, man, because it's been an eye-opener. It's been, you know, it's made me open my eyes, stop, do things a lot different. But I just want to say, you know, I'm Bubba. Everybody knows me as Bubba. My name's Keith Lusk. I'm just trying to get back to work, get back on my feet, and trying to find a cheap vehicle. And you know, I gotta get back to work. You know, that's all I do is volunteer work, and that ain't getting me nowhere. I do a lot of it. I volunteer with the United Cajun Navy for a while. Do it everywhere. Anybody needs help, I'll help. Just trying to find a vehicle. So if anybody can find anything, that would be nice. Just
Yeah, they took us roller skating, not before last. I ain't been in so long, my ankles swelled up about that big, but we had a blast, man. And I mean, I had a blast.
I try to use batteries to help save on the gas of the generator and the wear and tear of generators. And of course, they're in the process of doing some solar panels, so that will help and be a lot safer.
But FEMA hadn't helped these folks. If they have, we haven't seen it. And the ones that are working, they've been put on hold for 2 months, 3 months. And fend for yourself. There's a family of 7 kids that has been left completely unhelped.
Did you find anybody to help?
Everybody helped.
Did you find some folks that you could help further?
Most definitely.
Awesome. Thank y'all.
Yeah, it was our pleasure to come out.
Thank you.
I know they're not real happy with FEMA, but when they see you come in numbers like this anywhere, Makes a big difference. So God bless y'all.
I'm good. I'm happy.
Keep that boss on us.
As you can see, FEMA didn't have much to say today, but I'm hoping they'll be a part of the solution moving forward and really start helping the people here rebuild. It's been a long wait. There's still hope.
If you want to help too, well, there's plenty to do, long as you have the right heart and mind. He said, now don't bring your junk. He looked at me and said, son, they need a hand up and not a handout. And as you can see, God's been so good to me. He said, I'm just trying to pass it on down. Just west of Waynesville, way up the mountain, I met an Appalachian angel, cigarette between his lips. He's building God's kingdom right there in his field, helping people find refuge at his haven on the hill. And there's rest for the weary in Farmer James Field. God bless those who made it to haven on the hill. God bless Farmer James.